anytime there was a free concert in the city of Suwanee, we would post that. Anytime there was a charitable event, we would post that. And I want to tell you a little bit about this particular post here. This was for an event called Challenge Child, and every year for Challenge Child, we would go and actually decorate a couple of Christmas trees, and we would donate wreaths that we had decorated. So in here, I'm just posting a link to an article that was actually written by the local newspaper, because again, anytime you're able, you have a link that you can post from another website or another party. It's a third-party recommendation for your company. It's like them saying, yes, we like this company. So you're posting, you're using the Facebook app to post the link to the other website, but then you want to make sure that you're also telling about it here. This is the part that a lot of people forget, okay? They'll post the link, but they're not saying anything about the link, okay? So whenever you're using social media, you want to talk to your other party or friend just like you would speak to them in your store. You wouldn't just put an article out in front of somebody, would you? And say nothing? How many of you would do that? Customer walks into your store and you're going, here. Okay, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm not going to read it unless you tell me. But if you say, thanks for recommending us, or thanks Gainesville Times for featuring us in this great article about Challenge Child. But I say something like this. Christi did a fabulous fashionista. We've got news for you, tree. A girlfriend's BFF shoe wreath. A Bon Appetit wreath for Challenge Child School for Children with Disabilities. Because remember, how many of you in here knew that Challenge Child was a school for children with disabilities? You didn't, because I just told you, right? So you have to make sure that you convey the message to your consumer. So check out this article and scroll through the pics to see Christi at work. Okay, so we're telling them on the ambiance page why we've posted this, what they're going to see, and what they need to do next, the call for action, because a lot of people, believe it or not, don't know that this is a link. They're starting to get more familiar with it, but unless you say, click on the link, sometimes they may not click on the link, okay? So notice that this article was posted December 5th, 2009 at 9:14, and by 9:35 p.m. we have this wonderful post from one of our consumers that says, the tree is gorgeous and so are you. Lee Highsmith is a Challenge Child Director of Development, is a good friend of mine. Thanks for what you do for Challenge Child. Well, when we look up this Beth Buffington Weichel, at the time, she was spending an average of $750 per month in ambiance. Okay? So if she knows that we're supporting a cause that is near and dear to her heart, her friend is the director, how else would she have known this other than Facebook? We're not going to put out an ad that says this. We're not going to take out space in the newspaper and say, oh, Ambiance has just decorated a tree for Challenge Child. No, but it's real quick and it's real simple to do on Facebook. The other thing that I encourage you guys to do on Facebook is to use it for your new product arrivals. And with the new product arrivals, they can be posted directly onto Facebook. Or you can use applications such as Snap Retail's Traffic Builder, and they have products that can help you automatically post new shipments. And then they also have a product called Snapshots where you can actually drag and drop products right into a Facebook post. So it makes it really, really easy for you, because basically what that Traffic Builder is a complete library of photographs from several compiled vendors. So whenever you are posting articles like this onto Facebook, I'm going to give you an example of what happens, and this is another funny story. Sorry, I am filled with funny stories, or at least I would like to think they're funny. So we had this monogram doormat come in our store. How many of you have doormats in your store? Okay. We had doormats like way back in 1999 when we first started, and in 2001, they kind of went on our dead list. In other words, you were not allowed to buy these doormats, okay? You were not allowed to buy doormats, period, because there was no good way to display them, and sales on them were horrible. But one of our great reps came to me and said, Christi, I've got this great monogram doormat. Horchow is blowing it out the door. If you would just get it and put it on your Facebook page, I know people would come in to buy it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. How many times have you heard that from a rep, right? You know, they've always got a great product. But this particular rep I trusted with everything. Matter of fact, she had a book line, and I would just let her order books for our store so I didn't have to go through them all. That's how well she knew us. So I said, okay, Felicia, send us the doormats. I'll put them on Facebook or whatever. So we put them on Facebook, and it says, you know, make a statement with a monogram doormat. Just arrived and walking out the door like they have 2 feet. Only they weren't really at the time. Only $49.99. And made in Georgia of recycled tires. Okay, so we're in Georgia. They're made in Georgia of recycled tires because everybody's trying to go back to things that are made here in the States. So if I hadn't said they're made in Georgia of recycled tires, my consumer wouldn't have known it. But the funny thing about it is, the doormats, my store manager had placed the doormat at the door. There's a stack of about 30 sitting to the side. Okay, people were coming in all day. Hey, Mary, where can we find those doormats that are posted on your Facebook page? And Mary, of course, is like, right behind you. So anyway, long story short, that these doormats were extremely successful for us because they were posted on Facebook and because people used this little share button, okay? The only way you're going to get that share button is if you post photographs. If I would have just posted about this doormat, for one, you wouldn't have been able to see it. You know, picture's worth 1,000 words, okay? And a good picture's worth even more. So that's where you want to get great photographs from your vendors. You don't want to just, take it with your cell phone camera. That's okay sometimes, but the quality is not going to be there. So you want to look like a professional company. Kind of treat your Facebook page as your catalog. Okay, so the next thing about the share feature, people can share this with the inboxes of their friends. So not only were people coming in to buy them, but they were coming in, purchasing them, and going, oh, I think my friend, she needed a new doormat too. So she would go. It was very easy for her to share the link on Facebook. So do make sure that you use the Facebook apps whenever possible. The other thing that we would use Facebook for, how many of you have events in your store? Have events? If you don't have events, I highly encourage you to do so, at least one a month. Events in our store were what made us successful, okay? Because we had events, we had all types of events, and we even had events such as the Football Widows Party and Gobble It Up sale, okay? Notice the date on this, November 24th, 2009. Well, November 24th, 2009 just happens to be on a Thursday, so does anybody know what day that is? How many of you are open on Thanksgiving Day? You are so smart, but yet so not in a way, because depending on what area you're in, this ended up being our best shopping day ever. We made more dollars per hour on Thanksgiving Day than we had in all of our history. My mother did not do it this past year. I'm so, upset with her for not doing it, but she was completely in control. And at first she thought that I was absolutely crazy, but I just had this hunch where I would always get bored on Thanksgiving evening, because our family does the whole lunch thing. And I'm like, I just don't want to stay at home. And, all these people are in town. Let's just see what it's like. So I just started, putting some feelers out there with my customers and said, hey, what are you guys doing Thanksgiving? Oh, nothing. The guys are always watching football, and we don't really have anything to do. We're just going to wait on the stores to open at midnight. Well, the year before we were open on Thanksgiving, when we were not open on Thanksgiving, on Black Friday, we were hearing, oh, well, if I had only known that you guys had this, I wouldn't have bought whatever at Bed Bath & Beyond. So I decided that we were going to try to get their money first by being open first, and it really did work. Because what happened was, we had planned to be open. You can see here, I think it was from 7 to 10. It didn't really matter because we ended up being open from 7 until like 12:45, and we were actually having to boot people out the door. And remember earlier when I told you we did the free gift wrap and the polka dotted paper? Okay. Well, we were short-staffed that night, to say the least, because nobody thought this event was going to work. They thought it was going to be just, I was going to be there by myself, and nothing was going to be happening. It was just going to be me and my friends show up. That's what my mother said. Honey, it's just going to be you and your friends. All they're going to do is come and drink the Bellagio chocolatinis. Okay, well, if that's the case, then let them come drink the Bellagio chocolatinis. My mom walked in the door at 8 o'clock, and she couldn't even move, and she's going, oh, what do you want me to do? I'm sorry. So anyway, long story short, this is just an awesome, awesome time to have an event if you don't have family things going on at the time. But however, make sure that you post, again, using the Facebook application, the calendar app. You can easily go on and post all of your events very, very easily. And whenever you're posting those events, Facebook actually lets you make a page. It's almost like making your own little web page for the events. People can say if they're coming or not. But I will tell you this. For my store, we would never have people say that they were going to attend. They didn't respond either way. So don't think anything of it if people don't respond saying that they're going to come. Trust me, they will come. Okay. The next thing is email marketing. Okay. And again, Snap Retail does help you with email marketing. They make it really, really easy for retailers to email market. So these are just a few examples of some very successful emails that we had at Ambiance. We would always do compelling, informative e-blasts that people would actually want to read. In other words, if we didn't have anything to say, we didn't send out an email at all. Unless we had a great product that had just arrived, or we had something that we really wanted our customer to know.